call already. Alyce was a founding mother of the Language Women's Shelter. She's been an absolute staunch advocate for protecting women and preventing violence in our community. We've had her on our calendar every other year, every third year. We actually have some videotape from a previous time that Alyce was here that was on YouTube, and the prosecutor used it supposedly against Alyce in the Jodi Arias trial, which we will be hearing more about. So please welcome me. We are so delighted and absolutely undeterred to bring Alyce Laviolette to you this morning. Please join me.
I am the poster girl for misrepresentation in the media, so I want to first of all thank End Abuse Long Beach for their guts, because I know they received some really nasty stuff, which I did too, and it was a very unpopular case. It was tried in the media, and I'm going to talk about that when I talk about what kind of abuse are we talking about. But also to know that I have never taken a case I didn't believe in. I turn down cases regularly. I don't do expert witness as my way of life. In fact, I'm not sure. I've turned down 3 or 4 cases since the Arias case because people saw that and wanted me to testify. I was also the topic of discussion in Sacramento for the expert witnesses around the state who testify in domestic violence and child abuse cases, none of whom would touch the Arias case. And every single one of them said in hundreds of cases they have never seen a more abusive, disrespectful prosecutor than Juan Martinez. Lenore Walker called around a case, and you all familiar with the name Lenore Walker? Yeah, Lenore's great. Anyway, Lenore called, she was an expert witness in a case in Arizona, and said, if Juan Martinez is the prosecutor, I'm dropping off the case. She won't take the case either. This is the first time social media, headline news, and I'm talking about Dr. Drew, who is very dangerous as far as I'm concerned, because he sounds sane, unlike Nancy Grace and Jane Velez Mitchell, who don't sound nearly as sane, but they tried the case on the media before the case ever went on. And when you look at what's happening in the media in terms of high-profile cases, I think it's quite amazing that the media has chosen 3 young women, Casey Anthony, Amanda Knox, and Jodi Arias, to pillory, to paint as monsters, to paint as whores and sluts, to try in the media, whether you agree with it or not agree with it. I don't agree with trying people in the media. And they pick 3 young women and then pillory them for looking dead when they're on the stand, for looking like this. I think Amanda Knox's mother, and I saw her on The View, said, what do you expect them to look like? They have been, they get hate mail regularly. They are crucified, and I have a sense of what that's like, because if you Google my name now, it used to be really nice. I used to like to Google my name, but I don't Google my name anymore, because there's a lot of stuff on the internet, which there was a collision of an out-of-control courtroom, and by the way, the Andrews, the 2 judges, Brad and Deborah, who are friends of mine, called me to see how I was, and they said they have never seen a more out-of-control courtroom. They never would have allowed what went on in that courtroom, and they said there's no courtroom they've ever been in that would have allowed what went on in that courtroom. So at the end, I've got some clips, just a clip of actually the Snow White Wicked Witch, which I did here. I did with Snow White, a Battered Woman. Thought it was kind of a catchy title, but you'll see what happened with that and see what happened with the media with that. So at any point that you guys have questions, well, first of all, how many of you are familiar at all with the Jodi Arias trial? Okay, most people. It was all over the news. In fact, I used to walk through the airport like this because people still recognize me. And I have done sessions in the gates at the airport with people who come up to me and say, do you really believe what you said on a stand, or we really loved what you said, or go girl, you know, that kind of thing. But I had a man come up to me in the gate in San Francisco who said, you know, my father called me names for a long time. Do you think that affected me? And I think I'm an alcoholic. That's my wife over there. And he talked to me for an hour. And I waved at his wife. She waved back. I've got a lot of BFFs now who I never knew before. And the other thing that was real interesting is there is a Twitter feed out there that allegedly I'm doing. I don't even know how to tweet. I don't even know if that's what you call it. I don't do it. Somebody took out a Facebook page and they're me on Facebook, and I don't know how to do that either. I'm not on Facebook. Thank God I don't have an email address on my, but I did get calls, plenty of calls. But I also got calls from battered women literally all over the world, all over this country and all over the world. I'm going to read something that one of the women sent to me, but saying they kept me going through this case because what was so different about this case, and I've done expert witness for 29 years, and for any of you who've seen Sin by Silence or know Brenda Klubine, Brenda's case was the first case I ever worked on. And Brenda is someone I respect. Brenda is someone who will never go on Dr. Drew again because of the way he talked about me. And by the way, he had experts on, and y'all ought to be upset about this. He had experts on who had PhDs. None of them had any experience in domestic violence, and they were all commenting on the testimony.